What's up, guys? It is Robert Rietze. I'm here with PPG, teaming up with Foe to give you guys a quick deck profile for my top 8 performance at the PPG event. This happened this weekend for the Invitational at Kitchen Table Games. So I ran red because I am Robert Rietze and I only run red. That being said, I ran BrolySurge, an oldie but a favorite, a very good deck in this current meta. It got me a 3-1 record for our 4-round event. It takes care of ejects and it takes care of BrolySurge very easily. And as I found out in top 8, it has a very, very tough time with Broly, the black version, because apparently I didn't think about the deck as being a possibility that would scare me. So we'll talk about how to fix that in the future. This is the basic concept of my deck. If you guys remember this beautiful card, it's Sun Goten. He says if you have 5 or less cards in your deck, go ahead and search out for this card to draw 2 and untap an energy. So basically he's like a free 10k, which you're going to be able to use for arrival mechanics, and he lets you draw 2. So it's very relevant because you don't draw with this leader, he only combos, but it lets you keep cantripping back into a big hand so you can put a lot of aggression early without worrying about overextending and being out of the game with a leader who just draws like 1 card and that's it with no tricks. You'll notice we don't cast green in this deck. It is a mono red deck. It's just that we have green cards to awaken the Surge mechanic. This is one of those green cards. We got Champa and Beerus. This is your primary target for your Sun Goten. You arrive that, especially against Vegeks, they have a hard time dealing with this card, in large part because you're going to give your critical cards double strike and blow up their Kai, and it's just very, very good. Before I continue, the other card that's really relevant about this and why this deck beats the red Broly, the other, we'll say the best deck in the format, which sadly no one ran, I guess I should have, is this card. It is Shu King Piccolo's Underling. It is a counterplay skill if your leader's red, which mine is. You play it, and any cards being played that are 5k or less just go to the drop. So we just kill the drop mechanic for 1. And unlike other decks where, well, you went 1 for 1, in the case of this Brawler leader, we then combo this card later and we draw a card. So it's effectively free to Denial of Hope. If you've seen any of my profiles, Intensifying Trunks is always a 4 of if I'm running red. He's an oldie, he's a goodie, he's the best card. This is better than Kaba because you can play it at any point in time, and we get that option to chain attack later on if we want to side into it. You'll notice some singletons. These don't really matter. These are just preference cards in my list, like a Fearless Pan, a Bulma, just some cool tricks for utility. None of them were really that relevant. This card was Heroic Videl. Big fan of her as a 2 of, 3 of, 4 of in a deck like Broly. She's a 5k. You can always combo her and draw a card, or just negate 1 attack, then on the next attack like a leader swing. If they don't combo, go ahead and combo with it and then draw a card. Once again, replacing it. I tried to run Heartfelt Plea just to do it. And I had a built-in option to cease to exist to give it a plus 5k for like my topos and skillless cards you're going to see. Not once did it ever actually happen. I only had, 5 rounds, so not like there was a ton of choices. But I never got to do it. The amount of removal in this format makes it very hard to have a card sideways that's not being used. At best, I think I had 3 cards at one point, but I never got to really live the dream. Since this is not a peel-off deck like I normally run, it didn't work as well. I still think Heartfelts are worth picking up. It's just going to become better and better as more 25Ks are in the format, and we have more alternative awakening. But the Cease to Exist is cool because it gives you that 5K as an activate battle. You just target the card that's not in combat, and then pump it to awaken. And the really cool part about this trick is you also get an out for Invoker, which is why we ran this over a 4-star ball. Because Invoker, we can just deal with that Vegeta right away, and you feel good about it just to have a chance to win. This was actually my #1 way to come back from behind, which happened a fair amount of times. I forgot how good this SCR was. I busted it out for this tournament. Solid plays kept happening where I couldn't get my opponent below 3 life. They kept just discarding tons of cards to stay at 3, and then this deck has a lot of double strikes, so they just didn't want to get down to that terribly dead area. I'd purposely let my life go to 2 and then keep back a topo, and usually like a Videl. So I could topo, then if they were like, nope, still going to go for it, I would then Videl the next attack and then have my leader ability just in case they wanted to go in a third time. So highly recommend this card. Pick it up. It's super cheap. It's not going to become a bad card. In this next format, red is very powerful. So keep that in mind that this card will go up. If we get regionals, even if they're online regionals, it won't matter. This is the best red SCR. I can't think of another one that can compete to this card. Smoke Dragon does not do what this card does. That being said, you need green in this list, and this combo should go in every single deck. We got Bardock and Beerus, where you draw 2 and you pitch a Beerus to summon it for free. I don't know why more of you guys don't run this in every single deck. The only deck it doesn't really work in is Vegex. I don't even mind it in Broly. I like it in Broly. Broly, the red deck, I like it in yellow. I like it in blue. It doesn't matter what deck you're in. 2 cards for 0 energy and draw 2 is good. You saw him running red, so we got Topo. Always always the premier 2 cost play. And then the last trick that the deck has, because of course I ran super combos, but that's just a preference for you, I ran Paragus. This card got a little bit of help from the draft box besides Shu, who's also quite good. We also got the Son Goku Nimbus Masters. This card is $5 on TCG. This is one of the reasons why I feel like people complain for no reason about the price of this game. You can buy these out and make a ton of money long term. This card is always going to be good. I'm going to probably buy out later on this month if no one else has, because it's that good of a card. When you combo with it, at the end of the combo step, once the attack is over, you go ahead and put a skillless battle card into play. I chose these guys right here, some Master Roshis and Son Gohans. Master Roshi is primarily there because he was in the Pan deck, and he will be in the Pan deck because we'll be using that Earthling theme. Pan gets to abuse it a lot better, but Broly still is a draw a card, summon a 20k on turn 1. And frequently people will attack because everyone else leader is like, draw a card whenever you swing, or they just want to try to get in that early damage. If you play against Reboot Gohan, that feels really good against this deck because they'll try to get in like a double strike, but they don't want a combo. And so you can just go to 20k and get a battle card for later. And then, like I said, you can then the following turn, Beerus, give it double strike. You can go fast if you need to, but you're not in a rush. It's the cool part about my decks. I like to have them alternate between being aggressive and passive. For sideboard, the important cards are really just Broly, Crown of Retribution. I should have ran 4. This card, it needs, if you're running red, go back to 4 of these. Grab them. They're like $1 on PPG's page, I think, for foil. I bought mine on there. So unless they went up. Fu, Shrouded of Mystery. I should have ran 2. This card is just great. Everyone's trying to stall. Like it seems like you're either going very, very fast or you're trying to go snail speed slow. And if someone's going snail speed slow, nail speed slow, just go ahead and just Fu them and end the game. I tried some other tricks. To be honest, the rest of the sideboard, not that great. We tried some chain attack into like Vegeta Resolved. It's a denial of hope for 15Ks or less. It very rarely ever mattered. It's still a cool card because once again, it's a 5K. We can combo it early game. It's just not that great. You see I ran Mize. From now on, you should have all of them, I think, are a quarter. Every color should be running in your sideboard, that anti-blue. So you can have those easy wins. I always recommend it. And then After Image, which I was dumb and didn't even side in against the Broly deck. Clearly should have. But, like I said, first time playing it, and I didn't really know what to do. Took me a little bit, and he got me pretty easily. The guy played it very well. My only other loss was to Butters, who was playing a green Goku deck, which I felt like was nothing but spot removal. And since my deck is primarily 2 drops and less, every time he dormants, I lose a character, and then every time he freezes, I lose another character. And then he has built-in draw mechanics, so it makes it a lot harder for the deck. In both of those situations, like I said, Dark Banisher Fu would have fixed it. So going forward, I definitely would probably go down to 3 Bardocks main and like 1 or 2 Dark Banisher Foos main, and then also have a Dark Banisher Foo like up to 3 in my sideboard, so that way I have a total of 4. The card is just very relevant right now, and I forgot about how relevant it is, in large part because whatever they respond with, you just have so many opportunities to deal with it. Dark Banisher Foo, for example, on counterplays, if they don't do it in window 1, because you might, like with BrolySurge, you're going to have 2 energy on turn 4. You're not awakening before that unless they went super fast and you got no topos. So you'll have the option of playing another battle card. If they counterplay a Frieza, that's 2 different activations. They have to first summon it, and then they have to KO your card. So that's 2 warps. If they awaken, which is not that uncommon nowadays, some people will purposely save their awaken for a certain mechanics. They warp a card. Negates, warp a card. It just adds up so much on your kill turn, and I forgot how good it was. So give it a shot, enjoy yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you guys in January for whoever's hosting the next event. And then in March, we've got the big invitational. I hope you guys all come down to Miami. We got a vaccine, so hopefully everyone's coming out. Later.